Myself as well as this is my introduction. I'm working in a senior BA specialist and working as an one of the manufacturing industry, and have developed multiple projects in the Power BI and given training to the international as well as the domestic people in Power BI, and I have a graduate in BTech from JNTU Hyderabad. So briefly, I will tell you but the background, who is eligible and who is not, and this tool is a very powerful tool, Power BI. It is a business intelligence tool, and I'm just going to give a brief introduction of the background. If you're in any kind of sector, whether it is BTech passed out or else some other domain, if you want to change from one domain to another domain, or else if you are a college fresher, or else some other, even if you are a basic knowledge on technologies like ETL, all the peoples are eligible. And even if you are not aware and just BTech graduate, and this tool is very useful, and outside Power BI is having very much demand, and because this tool has been available from past 5 years, like 2015 has been came into the public preview, and from there it is beating each and every BI tools like Tableau, ClickSense, and Sysens, and all. And this is about a brief background, like it's if you have some basic knowledge on ETL and some of the Excel or else SQL, it's well and good. And if you are not aware, once we will start our project like this group, then it is an easy to grab and pick up these things. We can able to perform simple ETL like ETL, extract, transform, and load. These kind of technologies we will use in Power BI, and as well as an basic SQL stuff also we are going to perform in Power BI. So this is a brief background, and we can able to adopt it and easily. And the tool, if you can go to the Google Trends, this is the tool from last 5 years, which is picking up like an anything. I'm just going to give some more what we are going to discuss as per the topic wise, as well as how we are going to perform. See this here, most of the time we are going to go here and get data. We can able to pick any kind of different data sets, like whether it is an Excel files or else something, a different cloud kind of setup, or else access DBs, or else open source data technologies like Postgres, Sybase. These are the tools we can able to pick and pull the data into this. And what we will do in the sense, we will do the transformations here, like ETL, extract, transform, and load. These are the ETL technologies. We will do it in the transformation editor. And finally, if as per the business requirement, we will perform some DAX, data analysis expression. So as per that, we can build the reports into the desktop, as well as we can share the reports to the end users. That is either inside customers or else outside users. By sharing that through mobile app, it will support mobile app as well as tablet, and finally laptops. So this is the final, overview of the Power BI tool. And most of the times, these are the activities we are going to perform. We can extract some data into our Power BI, and finally we will do some transformations. We will do some cleaning and shaping of the data. And as per the requirement, most of the times we will do DAX, data analysis expression, and we will build the reports on the top of it. If it is required, we will perform DAX, or else we will use as it is the report, like built report and dashboards. And finally, we will share the data. That is the main requirement, because Power BI is a business intelligence tool where we can predict some data and we can share the reports to the end users to take proper decisions as per the data. This is the overview of my course. So I will define this Power BI in two different ways. Power BI, it's a business intelligence tool which will helps you to analyze the data. First, we will analyze the data, what kind of data it is. Either it is an Excel or else Access DB or else cloud, SQL or whatever, Salesforce. We have to extract, we have to pick up the data. And then once we will extract, once we will extract into the Power BI, we will build some reports based on that. And then we will share the report, like we will do this report like this, and we will share this kind of reports to the end customer, whether it is an internal user or else external. So this is the way we are going to define Power BI as a business intelligence tool, which will help you to analyze the data. First, we will analyze the data and do some cleaning. If the data is not in structured, not in a proper format, we will do some cleaning of the data and make some shape of it. These are all the things we will perform in the transformation tab and convert the data into the visual format. That is the end requirement for us. We have to find the data and we will do some visuals based on the availability of the Power BI charts, and then we will share the reports. We will prepare the reports and dashboards and share the reports to the end users. This is the definition given by the Microsoft. Microsoft Power BI is a collection of software services, apps, and connectors. It's a collection of software services, apps, and connectors which are going to work together to turn your unrelated data sources. Like that data should be like any kind, either it is a structured or semi-structured or else unstructured. Suppose if you can take JSON files and all, this is all unstructured kind of format. If it is an Excel or else some other like SQL, these are all structured. Semi-structured is like some of the Excel files. Sometimes we will get unstructured data, which is not in a proper format. And visually immersive. We have to provide some immersiveness in the visuals and find the interactiveness in the insights. Whether your data is a simple Excel file or else CSV or else cloud kind of setup or on-premises hybrid cloud databases, there is an SQL or a Dynamics. We can able to connect any kind of data sources. I just mentioned here like SQL, Dynamics 365, and Business Central and SharePoint. We can connect any different kind of data sources because Power BI is supporting more than 250 plus data sources, and still it is some of the data sources are beta version. They're still working on to get any kind of data into the Power BI. We can able to pull any kind of data like this: SQL, Dynamics 365, Oracle, and SAP. And let's on the top of it, we are going to easily connect your data sources. Once is there any like unstructured or something, we can clean the data and then do the modeling in our data. We can bring some relationships on the underlying data sources. And finally, what we will do, we will do the visualization. Visualization is the most important thing we are going to perform. 80% of our time we are going to spend in the visualization time, and we can discover some insights. And then finally, we will share whoever, whether it is an inside customer or outside, we are going to share the end users by doing the sharing option. So this is the ways we are going to define the Power BI. We can able to connect to these kind of different data sources, and we will do some visual development in the Power BI desktop. And finally, we will share the reports to the end users. Coming to this Google Trend, just now where I discussed with you the why Power BI. I would like to say five important reasons. It's the most important, like in Google Trends, is the most searched tool in that. When compared to the Tableau, if you can compare it, this is the growth it is going on because it has been published like 5 years back. This is the trend. And if you can compare with the Tableau, it is started in 2011 at 10, I think. When compared to this, within 5 years, the growth rate is like this much trend, and most of the companies are adopting because it is coming with Office 365. It's a free. Power BI desktop is a free version, so we can able to perform and we can do the visuals and we can share the end users. They have to gain some insights. So it's an trending technology as of now. So we, and it is also supporting maximum features like monthly. Power BI is coming with each and every new feature. Like they are adopting and they are merging and they are comparing it, and they are providing new kind of features in the Power BI desktop itself. And coming to the costing part, it is one of the cheapest tool compared to the other visualizations tool like Tableau or else ClickSense. This is a tool which is coming around $10 per month. If you are going for the pro users, there are different kind of users are there, like pro users and premium users. So this tool is coming with the cheapest tool, and which is providing very beautiful insights and delivering the customer also very easy, the end users. And coming to the data connectivity, it is supporting more than 100 data different sources and able to pull any kind of data sources into it. So most of the time we are going, as I said, most of the time we are going to spend at get data. We will pull the data and do the transformations, ETL, in the query editor. And it is one of the tool which is recognized by the Gartner, that is a third party vendor. And this is from Gartner company. It has been recognized as a top best tool. I just want to show you Magic Quadrant, which has been released in the January. If you can see here, this is a latest table. This is a Microsoft Power BI is the tool which is the number one now. If you can compare with the last 2 years, previously Microsoft is under Tableau, and now from past 2019 and 20, both the times it has been successfully number one tool, and it's a leader compared to the remaining other BI visualization. In the BI arena, these are the many tools are there. Out of this, Microsoft Power BI is the number one. And coming to who is going to learn and who is not, and what are the prerequisite and all. This tool will be helpful for business professionals already somewhere. I mean, like at the high head level or something, manager level. This tool will be helpful for the business professionals as well as some other developers like Power BI and data or business analyst and experienced but freshers in the data analyst also helpful. This tool. And college passed outs also, they are learning and they are getting jobs with the 2 years, because this tool has been emerged in this 2015 onwards. So that's why this tool is very popular, and in the BI arena, this is the topmost tool and the cheapest tool. So most of the companies are adopting because Office 365. So every company is using Office 365, and most of the time they are going to look with what are the additional features are coming with Office 365. At the time, Microsoft Power BI is also there. So as a leader, they are adopting, and they are providing the visuals on the top of it, because to take the quick decisions by analyzing the data. So coming to the history, every tool has some history, who is invented, how the process has been came, something like that. Coming to the Microsoft Power BI, as I said, Power BI was a conceptualized, and it was defined by Mr. Ruler and Mr. Nash at the SQL Server development, because Microsoft is having different technologies. While doing some research on SQL Server coverage area, they just find out Power BI by Mr. Ruler and Nash at the starting. After that, they have made some design changes by the Mr. George in 2010, and they have done with the Project Crescent. They named it as a Project Crescent and starting by Mr. Chad. And after that, in 2011, it was come with an SQL Server. While they're releasing with every year, they are going to release Microsoft with SQL Server changes like upgrades. At the time in 2011, they have given with a bundle with SQL Server code change by Mr. Mount McClay. And finally, in the preview level, 2014 has been came into the picture with the Microsoft Power BI as a preview feature. Just like an preview level, they have just released into the market. And finally, in 2015 only, the first Power BI general availability has been come with Microsoft Excel and add-in features and Power Query, Power Map, and Power Pivot. In general availability, in July 2015 only, they have released this tool into the public domain. This is a brief history about the Microsoft Power BI, and from 2015 onwards to 2020, just 5 years. So this tool has been emerged as a number one as per the Magic Quadrant. How Power BI works? As I said, Power BI is a business intelligence tool that will extract the data, clean the data, and we can perform ETL kind of activities there. And finally, we will do the visuals in the Power BI. So Power BI has been separated as a Power BI desktop and Power BI services. Most of the time we are going to spend at the Power BI as a developer. Power BI desktop, we are going to use it, and it has been defined with already I said Power BI is a business intelligence tool, and we can perform ETL kind of activities, and we will do the cleaning and all the things, shape of the data, and we will provide the visuals in the Power BI desktop. Once we will develop this Power BI desktop visuals, we will do the publishing into the reports like Power BI services. It is one more activity where we will publish whatever the development we will do in the Power BI desktop. We will publish to the Power BI services for the general availability. Like we will share the reports to the end users by publishing into the services. It is a Power BI services is a cloud based. It is a cloud, and Microsoft is having an Azure cloud, which is having some space, and we will publish the report into the services. So the Power BI has been segregated as a Power BI desktop and services. But as a developer, we will spend most of our time in the desktop level. We will do the development activities. We will we will develop all the visuals as per our business requirement, and then we will share the reports to the Power BI services. We will publish it into the Power BI services and share it into the end users. This is the Power BI, how it works. It has been separated as a Power BI desktop and services. Two different activities are there. And we are going to develop the visuals in desktop. And whatever the development we done in the desktop, we will publish it into the Power BI services, which is a cloud environment. From there, we will share the reports to the end customers. This is how the Power BI works. I just want to give some more explanation on this, how it is still works. As I said, Power BI, it is going to pull different data sources like Excel, or else Power BI data sets, CSV, SQL, SharePoint also, and PDF and web, everything. It is going to pull 250 plus different data sources. We can able to pull it and we can provide the visuals in the desktop, and we will do some transformations in the desktop itself. Once the development has been completed, we will publish the report into the services and we will share to the end users. Like this, the Power BI has been works. And I just want to give some pictorial representation how it is works. As I said, the design development, everything, the visuals, everything we are going to do it in the Power BI desktop, and it is supported with Windows only. So as per the development, we will build the visuals. We will share that. We will give it. We will publish the reports to the services. As I said, Power BI services. It's an online services which is a cloud based. And what we will do once the whatever the development, we will share it to the end users. Either the user is an inside our company or else external users. Like that, we will share it. The same way, there's a Power BI report server is also there, which is on cloud computing, and we will publish the report and view the report into the services only, and we will share the reports to the end users, whether it is a report or else dashboard. Both of the things we can able to share it to the end users. This is the way the Power BI in the pictorial representation we are going to send the reports to the end users. Most of the development and the activities we will perform in the desktop only, and then we will publish into the services. It's an online software as a services format. And finally, we will share it to the end users. Either it is on a view level of a report or else dashboard, multiple reports. I just want to briefly discuss about what is the costing and who is going to, like services cost and embedded and pro users. As I said, it is coming into the three different parts in the Power BI. Just Power BI Pro license, it is an costing, like this is all depends on Power BI services only, not the desktop. Power BI desktop is free version. If you want to publish it, it is the costing like Power BI Pro users, premium users, and embedded. So Power BI Pro, it is coming with $10. Take it as a $10 including with GST. So it is a self-serviced and modern BI tool, which is an cloud-based. Azure as a backend, it is going to support. So once we will develop the reports in the desktop, we have to publish as per the data sets. If it is a small means small kind of organization and the industries, they can go with Power BI Pro. If the data is very huge, then they have to go and adopt the premium capacity users. They will allocate some dedicated capacities like in the cloud, like some different data centers they will allocate in the premium users, and then they can deploy it, the visuals whatever they have. And finally it will the premium content 4,995 is the dollars cost for premium. If it is an embedded, which is coming from Azure, that helps you to customer access on the data and to make availability, because it's depending on the API, application programming interface, and it is embedded into the analytics, and it is costing around $735 per month. These are all per month uh, cost, and most of the time we have to ask for the data. We can go with Power BI Pro users or else premium users. So if the data is very less and if you want to work on it, we can go and work with Power BI Pro. If the data is, if you are pulling from 2010 or something, 10 years data, 20 years, then it is better to go with the premium content, which is costing like this. And if it is if you are already adapted with Azure, then you can install it in the Power BI embedded itself, which is costing per month $735. In this way, the Power BI services has been designed and differentiated with the three different sectors, that is a Pro, Premium, and Embedded. We no need to bother about where the data is allocated and stored, because it is fully managed by the Power BI Microsoft. So we no need to worry about the data. It is fully secured, and no need to worry about whether the data has been uh, given to some other or else segments. So it is a fully secured with the Microsoft team, which is a fully secured features are available in the Azure kind of environment. Coming to this architecture, as I said, every data preparation or else we will fetching of data, different sources. Like this we will do. First, we will extract any kind of data sources into the Power BI, and it is going to store it, and we will extract the data, and we will do some cleaning and shape the data and load it into the data warehouse, which is in a front end in the Power BI services desktop. On the top of it, because Power BI is an in-memory utilization, whatever the data we're extracting, that is going to secure and available in the data warehouse at the front end. And finally, on the top of it, we are going to build the reports, dashboard, and scorecards, whether it is KPIs. And we will do some visualizations on the top, and we will share the reports to the business users, who are the end users, to take proper decisions as per the data availability. So this is the architecture of Power BI. We will do the transformation, data preparations, all the activities in this ETL in the query editor, and we will store the data in the data warehouse format as like a historical data it is going to store. And finally, with the available data, we will build some visuals like this, the reports or else dashboards and scorecards in the visualization. And finally, we will share the end users. This is the architecture of Power BI. And every uh, report or tool come with some components. So Power BI is also having some components. 8 different components are there. And I will tell you the briefly about 8 different components which are very important in the Power BI. Power Query. It's an Power Query editor. Once we will open this Power BI desktop, we can able to fetch the data, right? Once we will fetch it, we will do some transformations or cleaning. Like I said, ETL, we can perform all the things in the query editor. That one we can call it as a Power Query editor. It is for cleaning the data and transform the data. And we will shape the data as well. Those are all the things we will perform in the query editor. Like that, there is one more thing, Power Pivot. It will helps to data model. Like we are pulling not only one data source, right? Suppose if we are pulling the data from different databases, different sources are there. We have to bring some relationships. We have to do some modeling to bring the relation, to get the relationship between one source to the different sources. So there, that one we can call it as a Power Pivot. And one more thing, Power View, because at the front end we are going to build the visuals. That is the main thing we are going to do. That one which is supporting Power BI 250 different plus charts, like including third party visuals as well as the inbuilt visuals from the Microsoft. Including that, 250 different charts are providing, and most of the time we are going to spend at the report view. That one we can call it as a Power View. And one more thing, Power Map. Once we can pull the any kind of country or region information, Power BI automatically detects and give you the name like map. That one we can call it as a Power Map, which can, it will helps you to show the visuals in the 3D view by using some geospatial maps at the back end. As I said, Power BI Q&A is there, which is a natural language processing. Suppose you are not aware what kind of data set, we just imported the data and we are not aware. At that time, Power Query Editor, it will automatically detect and give you some answer, Q&A. If you want to count the something, there is an option called a Q&A is there, which is supporting and assistance. It's in processing. For it will support the natural language processing as well. As I said, these are all these activities from Power Query to Power Power Q&A. These are all the activities we'll perform in the Power BI desktop. And these are all the things like Power Query for cleaning, Power Pivot for modeling. Suppose we are pulling different data sources, we will do the Power Pivot. That one we can call it as a Power Pivot, and we will do the model. And View as a report design, we are going to develop some visuals, right? So it is supporting 250 different charts. Power Map, it will help in 3D viewing of the maps, and geomaps are the geospatial layers are there at the Power Maps, which is supportive. And once we in our data set, there is some country information is there. Automatically, once we will pull the country information to the canvas, automatically it will detect by using Power Map. And Power Q&A. There is an which is inbuilt activity based on the artificial intelligence. It will detect some natural language process, and it will give some answers on the top of it. And accordingly, like Power BI services, as I said, it is a cloud based kind of environment, software as a services, and it is a companion tool for the Power BI desktop. Whatever we will do the development in the Power BI desktop, those are all the activities we have to send it to the Power BI services. Whatever the visuals we have developed in the Power BI desktop, we will send it to the Power BI services for final front end users. Like if the data source is different, at the time we will use some gateways, like to join the data with the cloud. So for that, we will use as a data management gateway. It will join the data. We will give some connectivity. Suppose there is some refreshes are there. We will do data management with the help of data management gateways. We will schedule the reports. Like that, there is a data catalog. We can reuse the multiple queries. We can reuse the data sets. For that, there is a data catalog is also there. In the demo, I will show you all the things. I mean, where is Power Query Editor, Power Pivot, Power View, and the Power Map, and Power BI services as well. So these are the main important components in the Power BI, which is an discussed, and these are very important. And query editors and Power Query Editors, Power Pivot, the highlighted ones are very important. Power View, Power Map, and Power BI services. And Data Gateway is for scheduling of the reports to join the data. Every tool is having some blocks are there. Like that, Power BI is also having some blocks. I just want to discuss like what are the building blocks in the Power BI. Everything you do in the Microsoft can be broken down into the few basic building blocks. After understanding these building blocks, you can expand each of them and being contain like elaborate and complex reports. So each, and suppose if you want to build, for suppose if you can consider an example, buildings are created with woods, steel, and concrete and glass. And similarly, like cars are also made with some metals, fabric, and rubber. Of course, for Power BI is also having some building blocks. I just want to define some of the building blocks are there for Power BI. These are the building blocks. In the services, visualization, data set, reports, dashboard, and tiles. These are the very important building blocks in the Power BI where we are going to work, and we will do in the visualization tab. And briefly, as per the visualization, a visualization is a representation of the data because we are pulling the data from the different sources. So finally, what we will do, we will visualize the data into proper format. That one we can call it as a visualization. And data set. A data set is a collection of that Power BI that uses to create for visualization. Collection of data. That one we can call it as a data set. Report. Once we will pull the data, whether it is a whatever data set it is, we have to build some reports, right? It's a collection of visuals from that data set. Whatever we have pulled the data, from there we are going to pull it, and once we will pull the data, we will show some visuals on the top of it. Either it is a single page or else multiple pages. Similarly, like a dashboard. A dashboard, whether we are pulling from after doing some visuals, we have to show some cards kind of thing. A single page collection of visuals built from the report. That one we can call it as a dashboard. And similarly, like tiles, a single visualization. Suppose if you can take, once we will build some dashboard, we have to pin it. Either it is a single visual or it's multiple visual. That one we can call it as a tiles. These are all the things we will cover it, and I will show you each and every representation in one more extended topic by using visualization like this. Suppose once we will pull the data, we have to visualize the data into proper format. In this pictorial representation, I'm able to see units sold by country. I have taken one of the chart, tree chart, and I can able to visualize like this, which is we can able to immediately identify which one is highest and which is lowest. And this one we are all doing in the visualization. A visualization representation of the data is called a visualization. For example, any chart, a chart or a graph can be represented for represent the visual. Like the data set. To build the visuals, we need some data sets, right? The data set is a collection and a collection of information, whether it is a single data set or else multiple data set. So in real time, we are going to work with the similar data set. I'm going to pull it one of the Excel file. I will take one of the Excel file and I will pull it. I will show you how I am going to pull the data and how I am going to report and visualize the data. The data should be either structured or unstructured format, any kind of thing. I mean, semi-structured also it will able to pull. Report. Once we will extract the data set, we have to build the reports, right? Similarly, a collection of visuals that appear together on one or more pages is a collection of report. It's a collection of items we can call. In one simple page, I can able to show these are the pictorial representation. These are the different charts I can able to show based on the single data set like that. This is an pie chart. This is a tree map and bar graph and graph geographical pivot. So these are the different charts we can able to build in the report level. Similarly, for the dashboard, once we will build the reports, we can able to provide some dashboard, right? A Power BI dashboard is a single page interface that uses the most important element of the report to tell some story. We can able to pick the report. I mean, you can, if you develop multiple reports, we can consider all multiple reports into one dashboard. So those are the things we can develop and we will build it in the data dashboards. And finally, tile. In Power BI, a tile is a single visual. If you can consider, once we will develop one report, if you can consider one visual, that one we can consider as a tile in a report. That one, how we can pin the tile, those things I will show you once we will publish the report. These are all the building blocks in Power BI. Visualization, we can provide some visuals, data set. Once we will pull the data, then only either it is a small information or else a largest. We can call it as a data set. On the top of it, we are going to build the reports in the desktop. And finally, we will prepare some dashboard on it. And each and every visual, each and every chart, we can pin it. That one we can call it as a tile, single visual. These are the building blocks of the Power BI. And coming to the main concept, Power BI desktop, where we are going to spend most of our time. In Power BI, there are three different views are there. As I shown, this one we can call it as a report view. Once we can pull the data, the icon will be having like these three. These are the report view. This is the data view. Whatever the data set we have pulled, we can able to go here and see the data. This is the data view and this is a model view. Suppose if you pull the different data sources, we can do the modeling and relationship. We will give some relationships and all the activities will perform here in this relationship tab. Let's see here. These are the one, suppose you can consider this one is one of the data set. This is from SAP and this is Salesforce. So we can give some relationship in the model view. These are the three different views in the Power BI desktop. Once we can able to open that Power BI dashboard report. See here, as per the definition, report. In this view, you can create the report and visuals where most of your creation time spent here. As I said, we are going to spend 70 to 80% of time in the dashboard only. We have to build some reports as per the business requirements, and we will give some visuals to the end user. So we have to build the report. So we are going to spend most of our time allocation in the report view only. So similarly, like the data view, in this view, you can see the table kind of information. Whatever the data set we have pulled, that table information we are going to show in the data view. In this view, you can see the tables, measures, and other data used in this data model associated with your reports and transform the data for best use in the report models. So the information of data, tables, measures, all the things are going to available in this data view. And finally, one of the model view. In this view, you can see and manage the relationship among the tables in your data model. As I said, suppose if you are pulling different data sources, we are going to give some relationship to interact each and every data set each other. So this one we can call it as a model view. As I shown in this pictorial representation, this one considered as a one table, this one another table, this is another table, three different tables. We are going to give some relationship to interact with each other. So that one we can call it as a model view. These are the three different views in Power BI: report view, data view, and model view. Report view is used for visual development. Data view is for cross-checking of the data, whether what kind of data it is and whether the data is related with the another data model, or if we want to do some transformations, ETL, and we will do all the things in the data. And if we are pulling multiple data sources, we will do some model here by using model view. These are the three different views in the data desktop, Power BI desktop. And I just want to give an Power BI desktop, there is a 6 main areas. Once we can open that Power BI desktop, that is a free software, we can able to see the canvas and different things, right? So I just want to give you an explanation about each and everything. There are the 6 main areas where we are going to put concentration and we will pull that. So this complete top, this file, home and all, this one we can call it as a home ribbon, which will displays the common task associated with the reports and the visuals. We can able to perform, these are the activities we will perform in the desktop level. So this one we can call it as a ribbon. So it is going to extract, get the data. From get data we can able to pull any kind of data sources. These are all the data sources, recent data sources, whatever we have connected, we can able to through here. And we can transform the data. If you want to do some cleaning, we will just click this transform data, refresh. This one we can call it as an header, ribbon, home ribbon. And this one we can call it as a field pane, which we are going to pull the data set. Fields are nothing but an tables. These are all the different tables I have pulled. So this one we can call it as a field pane, which show you the available fields in your queries. You can drag these fields into the filter canvas or else visualization pane. This canvas we can call it as a visualization. Here only in this part only we are going to show the visuals. As I have expanded with filter visuals fields, this space is small. If you can hide these spaces, this space will become as bigger. So we are going to do the visualization in this canvas only. So this is a visual canvas where we can add and change the customized visuals and apply some drill tools. So this one we can call it as a visual canvas. And filter pane where we can do the filters as per the data interactions and all. We will do some filters. So this is called a filter pane. We can perform all the filter activities, something like that. Like we suppose if you want to filter based on the countries or else some segments, we can do all the filters. Either it is on a visual level filter, page level, or a report level filter. So these are the filter pane we can call it as. And this one is an sheet tab, like an Excel. Suppose once we can open the Excel sheet, we can able to see the different sheet names like sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. Like that in Power BI desktop also, we can call it as a pages here. Page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. So here we can rename it as an as per our requirement. So it will come as a page kind of information. This one you can call it as a page tab. We can add it or else we can duplicate the existing tabs also fine. So this is the main important areas where the once we will open the Power BI desktop, these are the things we can able to show. This one is a ribbon, Power BI home ribbon, and this is a canvas where we are going to build the visuals. These are the filter pane. If you want to filter the data, we can navigate and uh, we can just drag that any kind of fields into this filter pane and we can do the filters. And these are the visualization session where we can just click this and automatically it will come into our canvas, and it is supporting more than 250 different kind of visuals. And this is a field pane. This is all the table information are going to available in this field pane. That one we can call it under provided as an fields. So as I said, these are the three fields: report view, data view, model view. So we can navigate to each and every view is also fine possible. And I will show you once I open this desktop file. So I just want to discuss about few more how we are going to pull the data and what is the flow for it. As I said, suppose if you want to extract any kind of data, there is an option in the home ribbon, get data. In my previous areas, if you can see here, this is a once we entrance page. Once we can open this Power BI desktop, this is the main page where we are going to see get data. From this get data only, it is going to support what are the different kind of data sources. And from this get data, we can pull any kind of data sources and we will do some transformations. I just said transform data. Here we will do the ETL activities. This is an Power Query Editor. We will do the cleaning and shape the data. And once we will do some cleaning and all the activities has been performed, we will do close and apply and we will design some of the elements here in the Power BI desktop in the canvas. This is a canvas view. So here we will do all the charts. We will, as per the data availability, we will do the Power BI and Power BI charts, as well as once we will publish, I mean, once we will develop the Power BI desktop design, what we will do, we will just publish the report into the services, which is a cloud setup. From here only, we are going to share the reports to the customers, end users, not from here. This is our development. These are all get data, transform data, and design reports. All are the development activities where we are going to spend our most of our time. So end user, they can able to navigate and they can see all the visuals and they will take the decisions accordingly after publishing the reports only. This is the flow of Power BI. And one more best practices I would like to convey on this. What is the Power BI best practices if they ask in the sense, as I said in my previous slide, just we can try to connect any kind of sources, any kind of different sources, whether it is an Excel or else SQL Server or else Azure SQL, whatever. We can able to get the data from it. Once we will do the get the data, we will do the transformations. Whether the data is perfectly fine, we will directly load it, or else we will do some cleaning by using this transform tab. And we will do some cleaning and shape the data by using some query and data mashups. Once we will close and apply, then automatically, as if there is some requirement, we will perform some DAX, or else on the top of the table, we will build the visuals like this. These are the visuals. We can build it into the report canvas in the report level. This is a report. So once the report has been developed, then we will publish the reports. In the DAX I will share it later, because that is a one more advanced concept where as per the business requirement we will apply the DAX, data analysis expression, that is either calculated column or else measure. There are the two different concepts are there in DAX. I will share you later, because as of now we have to pull the data, transform the data. Why we are going to transform the data? If there is an unstructured or else cleanliness are not there, then we will do the transform tab and we will do some cleaning of the activities, and finally we will develop the report into the report canvas. Like this is the best practice to work on the Power BI. Power BI, how it is works in the Power BI. As I said, this is one more pictorial representation. I want to give an clear idea how it is pulling and how it is activating it all. Once we will get the data, either it is a one source or different sources. I just mentioned with different sources is in a CSV or as XLS or databases or Azure or SAP. What kind of any kind of databases? First, we will connect the databases. Once we will connect, we will do some visuals as per the requirement. Once we will do the visuals, we will publish the report into the Power BI services. And this visuals, some of the databases are directly connected to the, suppose if we can take SharePoint, it will automatically connect to the Power BI services. So that's why I just given one more icon with connect to the Power BI services, which is a cloud based, because Power BI itself is come with Office 365. That's why. Once we can develop the visuals, we will publish the report into the service canvas. On service, whether based on the databases, if you need a gateway, we can give some relationship there. If you don't require any gateway, then automatically it will we can able to schedule the reports, because each and every day we are going to do the refreshes, automatic refreshes. These are all fully automated. No need any manual interruption. Like manually, we have to trigger the data sets like that. Automatically, we can able to do the refreshes by using Power BI Gateway. I will tell you like there are different gateways are there. As per the requirements, we will go either it is an on-premises or else personal gateways for refresh purpose only. So once we will publish the report, we can share the access to the end users. Like either they want it as a mobile app or else tablets or else desktop from their views. So we can give the access to the end users and they can visualize the data. Once we will visualize, they will take the decisions on the top of it as per the data and uh, once they will see the visuals on that. So this is how the Power BI is going to work. We are going to push and we are going to extract the data into the desktop, and once we will build some visuals, we will publish into the services level. It is as a cloud, and it will which is stored set up on the Azure. So automatically if they want any gateway, we can connect it, or else we can directly give the access to the end users by sharing access. And we will do some subscriptions also, like Power BI services, it is supporting with the subscriptions as well in the services, and they will take the decisions based on the visuals what we have developed on it. This is how the Power BI has been works. And let me take one of the demo, and I will share you like how we are going to prepare it, model the data and visualize it, and how we are going to deploy it. And as of now, I'm going to show you the prepare data and how we are going to model it. Let me take you that. I have installed a Power BI desktop. Once we can open this Power BI desktop, this is the front end screen. We can able to get from here itself, we can get the data and what are the recent data sources I have pulled, and we can able to open a previous reports also. This is the front end screen once we can able to open, once we can open this Power BI desktop. So this is a front end view. As I said, this is an report view, and here is the canvas where we are going to build the visuals, and this is a filter pane. If you want to filter any kind of data, we can filter it here. And these are the visuals. By default, it is supporting 36 or 37 visuals. If you want to get additional visuals, get more visuals, and you can import it. And it is supporting 270 plus visuals on the top of it from different multi-vendor or else certified Power BI. And this is a filter canvas, fields canvas, where our tables are going to appear here. And these are the three segments, that is report view, data view. Here we can visualize, we can able to see whatever the data we have pulled, and this is a relationship mode. Now I'm just going to take one of the Excel file from get data. See here in the get data, we can able to see these are the by default some of the data sources are there. If you can go to the more option, it is supporting a lot of data sources. I just said these are the different kind of data sources it has been supporting. And suppose if you can consider as an files, these are the different files it is supporting, like Excel, CSV, JSON, and SharePoint folders. And databases, a lot of databases like SQL Server and Access DB, MySQL, Postgres, HANA, SAP. These are all the beta versions. Some of the data is also in a beta version, which is supporting by using some connectors. So these are the Power Platforms, which is the common data sources are there. By using Power Platform also, we can connect it. As I said, it is supporting with the Azure cloud. Suppose if our environment is on cloud kind of things, these are the cloud databases it is supporting, like Azure SQL database, blob storages, Cosmo DB, and Explorer, and Azure Cost Management. These are the different Azure data sources is supporting, and as well as the online services like web kind of thing, SharePoint or else Dynamics NAV or else Azure DevOps, Office 365 or Dynamics 365, and Data Vault, and these are the different online services it is supporting. So some other databases like web, SharePoint list or OData feed, something. These are the different OData feed other services it's supporting. Is supporting Python and as well as R kind of scripts as well. Some of the versions are in beta phase, which is still not available, but with the help of some connectors, we can able to connect. These are the beta version databases as well. So these are the multiple different databases, more than 200 plus data sources we can able to connect by using get data. So as of now, as per the demo, I'm going to show you one of the file with the Excel now. I'm going to here Excel. We can connect it from get data, or else we can directly connect a shortcut from Excel. These are the shortcut databases is providing, like Excel, Power BI dataset, SQL Server, because most of the organizations are connected with SQL Server. So it is providing with shortcuts databases. So I'm going to use one Excel file. How can we connect? That is the way we can get data, Excel connect, and I'm going to take one of the financial samples dataset. I'm taking here like this. Once we can open that, that is an Excel file, right? So it will show you like this navigator. It is a display option. What are the file name it is showing, and in that there's two different sheets are there, financials and sheet one. So it is giving all the information. What is the information is available here in this right preview. We can able to see the information. What is the preview? It's a preview kind of option they are providing. This is the information we can able to get it. In the sheet view also, the similar kind of way. We can navigate and we can see the preview of the data. Suppose if it is any online, we can do some refreshes here. So I'm going to connect here one financial data set, one of the sheet. So this is a structured data, right? So we can directly load the data. But suppose, I can suggest you to go even though if it is a structured or unstructured, go directly to the transform data. Here where we are going to do some ETL activities in this query editor. Once we can press this transform editor, it will open one more window. This is a one more window, Power Query Editor. This Power Query Editor, we can perform it as an ETL, extract. Once we can extract the data, we can do some transform. We can do some cleaning here and we can load the data. So I'm just press that transform data and it is opened one more window called it as a Power Query Editor. And this information here, it will show as a financials. This is a table, right? So these are the complete information I can able to navigate from here. And this is the applied steps pane. So here it will show me like how I connected, what kind of source it is by clicking this one, what is the source, and it is the navigation, which table I have connected. And these are the steps one by one it is going to show us, and it will automatically detects the data types as well. What kind of data set, data types are there. Text type, numeric, or else integer. These are the data types Power BI has been supporting. So it will automatically detects. Previously this option was not there, so recently they have automatically detecting also enabled. Previously it was not there. If you want to detect the data type, previously what we have to do in the sense, select all the columns and detect data types. But whenever we are connecting now any kind of data set, automatically change type also coming. So automatically these are the data sets and data types it has been showing to us. So these are the segment country. So I just pull one of the financial data set, and this is the field information I'm showing here. So my data set is clear. If it is not clear, we can do the changes like segment, if you can rename it, or else just move the replace, or else moving one column to another column, replacing and all, we can do it by using query editor only. So my data set is clear. So I just want to perform. Once I had done some changes, because it is recorded, this applied step, I just re-added some of the data. So it is recording. So whatever the steps I have done, it is recording. What step? I just re-added some of the column. This is a formula bar is there. Here it is recording. So if we can remove this, no issues. Suppose I just want to remove this column, it will record this. Whatever the steps I have performed, it is recording. So we can once, as per the data, we can just close and apply the changes. If you don't want, we can remove this column and close and apply. This is also fine. Close and apply. It will record the information, and final settings are close and apply. So I've just closed and applying the query editor. The changes has been taking place now. Apply query changes. So my data has been loaded. Once loaded, I said field session, we can able to see the information about the table, right? This is a field, complete field, and a field means table information with all of the columns we have been detected. These are all the columns it has having. Suppose if you want to pull some other data set, we can pull it from here, get data, and we can pull it. So I just want to build some of the basic visuals by using this financial data set table. See here, this is as I said, this is a canvas, right? Take any kind of column. Suppose I'm going to take product information and some sales. By default, it is taking one of the table kind of chart. These are the different visualization charts are there. See here, by default, it is taking table. So this is the data, it is going to appear here. Similarly, we can pull this visual chart. This is a bar chart, vertical. I'm going to take profit as well as some information about the country. And I'm going to take some of the segment information. This one, I will take it as an filter, slicer, which will come like this. The data will be navigate each and every, it will navigate it, interacted with other visuals. So this is one of the best way to see the visuals on the top of it. So I will just make it as a drop down list. The option is here. One of the down arrow is there, right? We can select it, drop down. Because I have selected a slicer, so I make it as a drop down option to see the better visibility. And just rearranging it. And we will prepare some cards. These are the different charts which is provided by the Microsoft Power BI by default, and I will take some cards to give some KPI information. Like this, we can able to see the cards, the information fully fledged like this. Similarly, I will take some of the, I will duplicate this card by using Control C, Control V. It's a very easy tool and we can build the visuals in a very fast way. I will take 4 cards. As I said, one I have first created with one of the card. From that, I have just duplicated 3 more, and I will just rename it, and automatically it will rename by using replacing from this field pane. So that is profit information. I will take it as a sales information. So my sales data is available like this, and similarly, I will take how many units has been sold. I just replacing here in the fields pane. And finally, I will take cost of goods, how much cost of goods sold information. So just created some of the cards here, card information, and I have taken some slicer, that is the segment information. So most of the time, as per the development, we will take this session, this line has been like field slicer information. We will take this as a slicer and we will prepare some cards and we will take any kind of chart information like bar chart or else line charts here. So this line we can take it as a slicer and here we can provide some company logos or else whatever the information, sales report or else you can give proper names like this. So here I just mentioned here the slicer information. So I'm just try to create here some slicer here. I'm going to duplicate this one as well. We can duplicate because my requirement is I just want to create a slicer. So I'm just duplicating 3 to 4 slicers and I will replace, as of now it is a segment, right? I'm going to replace with some other like country. And this one I will replace it with product. Like this, I just taken 3 different. And I will take one more bar chart like this. Sales with product. So we can navigate the data. The interaction should be each and everything has been navigated, and the data has been displayed accordingly. Suppose if we selected the segment channel partner, this is the profits, sales and units sold, and cost of goods sold. So we can navigate the data accordingly from here. And similarly for this product information, we can navigate from here also. We can data should be interact and each and every, because this is a product information, right? So I just filtered with VTT data. So that's why the sales based on the product has been navigated. In this way, the data interactions and editings will be doing. So this is all the report canvas where we have developed the visuals. And here, this is an data view. We can view the report as per the fields availability like this. Because the Power BI has been coming with a super fast engine, we can able to go to the last record. Even if you have the millions of record, by using this data preview, we can just go to the last record. We can able to see the last record just going to this scroller button down. As of now, my data set is very small, so that's why I can able to see this much fast. So there is a fastness is there because it's supporting self-service analytics as well as in-memory utilization. So that's why you can able to go very fast to the last record as well. We can able to see the last record also, we can catch up. So in this relationship tab, I have only one table, right? So I'm not able to build any kind of relationship. So this is a only one table I can able to see and visualize. So if we have multiple tables, once we will pull some more tables means we can give some relationship and we can build it. So in this way, we can able to work and we can do the development in this Power BI desktop. It's a very easy tool to develop our competency and to get it into the market. So once we will develop this much report in the development, this is all we will done on the Power BI desktop only. We will save this report. We will save this report, giving some name like sales, financial sales. And the report is going to save it in a .pbix format. This Power BI desktop report that is going to save it with an extension of .pbix, Power BI index. So I'm just saving this report. Once we have saved this report, we can go here and publish it. Automatically, once we can try to publish, all the development has been done in the desktop, right? We can able to navigate to the publish to report. Once we can publish this report, it will show you the destination. By default, my workspace is there. My workspace is having a 10 GB of space because I'm actually using some pro user license. So my workspace, I'm just publishing into the Power BI services. So I'm just publishing into the my workspace now. It will take less time to publish the report into the services. So here, see here, I just completed the development in the desktop and I have just published the report into the services by using this tab, publish option. So once I publish in the my workspace, this is the way we can able to see the success. I have completed the report and I have published it into the services. So if you want to open the report, we can click this option. Directly, it will go into open the report level. Let me open it. To see the report, there is one more way. We can click it from here, from open the Power BI report in Power BI desktop, or else we can go from here also, app.powerbi.com. If you want to see the report, whatever we have published. So I'm just going to there. We have to sign in. I'm just getting signed into my Power BI services. I just signed into my Power BI services to see the report is available in the services or not. Go to the workspace. Here, go to the My Workspace. Okay. I just completed the report name with financial services. We can search here. We can search here, or else recently whatever we have done, we can just go here and see the visuals as well. I'm just going to the financial report is my report, right? I'm just going. This is my report. The icon will become like this because I have developed some visuals. So icon is this report visual. The name and icon is similar like this. And if it is a data set, whatever the data it is going to available, the data set, there is a one more separated with a data set with a database symbol. So once we will publish the report into the services, each and every report has come with two different types, that is report and data set. As we had learned that report, data set, visuals and all, those are the things we are going to get it here. So I'm just going to open the report only. I don't want as of now to see the data set. So I'm going to open the financial report. That just report the finished. I just finished it, right? I'm just going to open it. So in this way, we can able to see this report. And if you want to share this report, we can share this by using the share tab to the end users. So as of I'm using the Power BI Pro license, so it is just giving some alert to me. We can share this report and we can give some comments also from this. And if you want to export the report, it is supporting Power BI PowerPoint, PDF and print. So PowerPoint, it will give complete information similar like this. If you want to give this report as a PowerPoint presentation, we can export the report like this. From this, as of now, I have just built one of the report, right? If you want to publish into the desktop, here it is an icon is there, pin icon, pin visual is there. You can press this icon. It will ask you, do you want to publish in the existing dashboard, or else if you want to create a new dashboard, it will ask you. I'm just going to create one new dashboard. Financial sales, pin it. Here, this is the icon, pin visual. This one will support, as of now I have opened one report, right? If you can able to pin it other report data also into the same dashboard. That's why I can call it as an dashboard. Dashboard is a collection of multiple reports. We can pin it like this. Financial sales. So I just downloaded the report as a PPT format. I'm just going to open that. What kind of information it is just providing. So this is a PPT. It will give you one front end screen like this. Financial sales, the report name, and what is the last refresh date, and how can we download this. And this is the way the report has been. Like this, we can share the reports either as per the customer, they want it as a PPT format, we can share the report. And we can directly, if the customer want to see the navigate the visuals, we can share it from here by sharing this report. And if you want to give the subscription, we can give the subscription also to the end users. Okay. I'm just going to the dashboard. Just I have created. See here, I have created I just publish a report. Once I publish, report and data set will come. Report is nothing but a visualization information will be available. Report at the report level. Data set, complete data set information and refreshing and all. We can do it in the data set level. And just now I created with a dashboard, right? Financial sales. So that one also appearing here. So once we can click it, the two visuals will be going to appear here. So here there should be no interaction. Suppose if you can click here, it will redirect to my report only. See here only we can able to see the interactions with each and every visuals. In dashboard, we can't see the interaction. So most of the cases in real time, the end user is going to expect the reports only. Sometimes if they don't want any navigations, we can create a dashboard and share it to the end users. Like this, the interactions and data availability should be there to the end users. So they can able to navigate and they can able to take the share the we can able to share the reports by using these options, and we can do the scheduling in the data set level. As I said, data set level, we can schedule the report here at the settings. We can schedule it here only. I said the gateways and all, data gateways. So here we will do the schedulings activities and all, and we can able to schedule as per the time beings, and do the runnings and all. We no need any manual interruptions like run the report manually and all. Here we can schedule it, and automatically as per the times we can see the report. Automatically it will open, I mean it will send the alerts to us. Like that we can. So I hope it is clear. Hello. Do you have any questions or else any doubts or else something you just want to convey? Please let me know. This is, I mean, Power BI, it will be useful, and it is the top running visualizations tool and the current market trend compared to the other BA visualizations. Any doubts? Any doubts? If someone raised a hand, let me know what is the question. Yeah, you can ask your questions, and I will answer you. Yes, Power BI, in Power BI where we can use SQL. As per the data set, if you are using SQL databases, we can use it. Suppose my data set is SQL. Suppose SQL server, considered as an SQL server. I can use this SQL statement here. We can use that we can pass the SQL statements by using this SQL tab. From this, we can filter the data, we can share the report. For Excel or else a SharePoint or something, we no need any SQLs here. Most of the times, we will do the cleaning activities in the query editor. And once we will do the cleaning and shape the data, proper shaping, we can just close and apply. We will see the visuals here. And if the demand, like if the requirement is like, I want to see some more as per the business requirement, you want to create one more measures or else calculated columns, we will create some DAX here just by using new column or new measure. That one also I will discuss in the coming days. Any other? How to capture last refresh data? There is an incremental refresh option is there. We can use it, and we can capture the last refresh data, or else we can separately create one of the date column. Here Power BI is having one of the date feature is there. We can do the last, we can capture the latest information capture data in the services level. That one we can do it in the services as well as in the desktop. Both is possible. Capturing of the last refresh data by using some date. What is the course duration? This is in 4 weeks. I will take it as a 4 weeks. It will take a 4-week session. I have to give you like each and every, I will give you the real-time concepts as well as some of the what is ongoing issues as well. I mean, online trends as well. So I just take a 4 weeks to complete this course, daily 1 hour. Is it possible to create navigation with permission or create a customizer homepage? That is the homepage I just showed you. That is a homepage we can able to see. There is no customizations in the home tab. No, does it require to learn any of data sets? No, not require. If you are aware of Excel, the difference between Excel and CSV and a little bit of SQL knowledge, then that is fine. But ongoing activities, we can able to get it all the information, as well as it is very easy tool to get it. Even freshers also they are learning. Can you share course content? Yes, I will share. I'll just share that report. I mean, my course content with Naresh IT, so they will share it with you. Yes, can I continue this course without SQL and MSBA? SQL by ongoing, we can able to get it the SQL knowledge, and MSBA knowledge is not required. But Power BI is an tool from Microsoft, right? So I'm going to give you the complete information about the Power BI. Not required. MSBA knowledge is not required. Pro license is enough for embedded into the production environment. Sometimes require, but embedded into the production environment that have to be, if you have an Azure, then it is required. We have at the backend with Azure, that is required. Yeah. I'm an SQL DB. Are you going to cover the topics which Power BI retrieves the data from SQL? I will use one of the data sets, that is an Access DB, as well as some of the SQL databases. So I will give you the both. I'm going to fetch the reports from SQL Server as well as Access DB. That is as per the project concern. I'm going to use one of the project with Access DB. I'm going to cover. How many days demo classes will go on? That one had to check with the team. Yes, can you send alerts on refresh success? Yes, we can. If it is a card or KPI or else gauge, if you are using that kind of chart, we can send the alerts. If the data has been refreshed or else if there is any changes, that is possible. Pro license is enough for embedded. Yes, yes. How much cost for the entire course? That one you can check with the team. Any projects related topics and real-time issues? Yes, I'm actually real-time. I'm working in the real-time in the one of the manufacturing industry. I'm going to share you the real-time as well as a project related also. Probability, as this tool is in 5 years back, it has been coming to the picture. I said 2015 only. So a few of the members having some other experience or else directly with Power BI, they're getting jobs as a fresher. It's a very nice tool, and most of the time we are going to spend in the visualization BI. I mean, report canvas only. So it is very best and to get it into this sector. Any other questions? I hope you like the session. If you have any doubts or something, please ask me. As I have taken just a sample data set, in real time, I'm going to show you what kind of Access DB. With Access DB, I will do all the activities and I will do it. Present job openings in Power BI. Yes, there is a good market in Power BI for as of now. If you can check in the Google, you can see how much you can see. I mean, compare with the other tools as well. How the last 5 years onwards, how this tool has been increased the scale. Possible to publish these reports into Angular pages? No, we can able to publish these pages into the web or else some, I mean, like adopt, I mean, embedded some of your company embedded websites only, not into some other different pages. We can able to publish this into the public domain, as well as we can publish into the embedded company domains, not into the outside as per the license. This is as of now I'm using pro license. As per the data sets and the data wise, we can adopt whether we can go with the pro license or else premium license, because we are going to use a very simple data sets like 1 GB or 2 GB. As per the data sets, we will go whether we can go with the premier or pro. But if you have a very simple data sets, because we are pulling less data only, so at that time we will go with the pro license only. Azure SQL database, we are connecting to retrieve the data. No, I am not going to, because we can able to extract the data from Azure SQL database also, but in our project or else in our course, we are not going to use Azure SQL. That one require some access and permissions. So, but we can able to extract the Azure SQL as well. That is possible, and we can retrieve the data from Azure SQL database. Any more? I hope you like the session. Any comments? Thank you. Yes, yes, Satish Babu. Also, we can convert JSON column table into the regular table reports. Yes, yes, that is possible. But we have to be work on query editor more to convert the JSON columns table into the regular table. Yes, that is possible. But we have to spend most of our time in the, because that is a JSON file. So we have to be more work in the query editor only, not in the some other. Yes, possible to convert. Yes, I will give the real time only. I'm not going to repeat each and every topic multiple times. If you have any questions or something, I can just try to reply you as soon as possible. Yes. And I'm planning to give some sessions on certification also. So I will do that. Yeah. Could I know the relationship between Power BI and Excel? Yes, I can tell you. Excel, there is no interaction. Simple word. Excel, we can also able to build the Excel charts, but you can't see the any interaction in the Excel. Suppose you can build any chart, we can't see the interaction between each and every visual. Suppose if you can take the Power BI, my MS Power BI, just now I shown you, right, the interaction, how it is interacting with each other. So most of the time, the end users, they want the interaction kind of data sets, I mean data visualization. So they are looking for Power BI. So Microsoft itself providing two different technologies, Excel and Power BI. So Power BI is having interactions and Excel is not. So that is the main relationship. What about job after course? Job, that one, as of now, Power BI is having full demand at outside. You can check it, and you can participate some interviews, and I will give the scenarios as well as the job kind of related questions as well, real time scenarios. So you no need to worry about it. But put concentration fully on Power BI. That is demand, and as well as everywhere is there. Yes, any kind of developer. I mean, suppose if you want to change the domain from some technology to other technology, that is possible. And if you are a .NET developer, there is a good benefits, because if you are, you have to participate in coding as well. But in Power BI, there is no coding. We just drag and drop. If you have minimal knowledge on SQL as well as an Excel, that is well and good. Why I said Excel in the sense, DAX and all will comes under with Excel only. After course completion, we can get job in Power BI developer or data analytics. Power BI developer and sometimes data analytics. It is also included. Data analytics, data engineers will do the data preparations and all the activities. And finally, what they will do, they will send the reports to the end user. I mean, the Power BI development only to get the visuals. So we will get it into the data analytics space as well. So data analytics also Power BI is there. So both of the places, Power BI developer separately we can call. It is good to have the .NET developers if you are very good on .NET. That is also very good benefits are there. You no need to worry about. It is very easy for DAX commands and all. Any other? If no questions and if you are okay with the codes, then happy. Package wise that will be differs. If you already have a 3 years of experience, package wise that one it will differs based on this. It will be differs package. Is Power Apps is in this course? No, but I will show you the how Power Apps is integrated into the Power BI. That one I will show you. Power Apps. Because Power BI is integrated Power Apps, so how can we even at the back end Power Apps? So if you can develop some apps, how it is integrated and how can we see the data? That one also I can show you. Yeah. Any other? If you're happy with the scores and demo, let me know so that we will close it. If you have any questions, please let me know. We have 2 more minutes to go. Hope, can I drop? Clear, right? No, Power BI, no need to practice on Power BI Premium because if you are working in an organization and if you have already Power BI Premium, then we can connect. Most of the time, even if it is works for a pro users only, we are going to work with Pro. Pro user, if we don't need to pay anything, it is a 60-day limit is there. We can activate that trial license and we can work for 60 days by using Pro users. No need to pay any amount. I will show you once how to connect to the Pro and we need some working email ID. I will try to create it for, I will show you one of the demo to create one of the Pro and then we can make use of it. No need to pay anything to Power BI. Power BI desktop is free to publish the report and do some activity. Power BI Pro is required. Gateways, if you are really required, if as of now in my training session, I'm not going to connect any gateway because I'm going to use one of the project with Access DB. So gateway is not required for my project. Gateways are required, but that is if you have a databases only. I'm going to connect to some databases that is required. If it is required also on premises and personal gateways are there, we can install any one of the personal gateway and we can make use of it. That is free only. Yes, M language also covered. While doing some cleaning activities and all, we will create M language for creation of dates and all. I will do that. I will. Any other? If it is clear means, let me know. We'll close our session. I will cover it. Tableau and Power BI. You can just go to the Google Trend and check. from last 5 years. Tableau and Power BI, the difference, and in real time, how much it is. I will cover both. I mean, difference itself. Clear, right? Can I close this session? You can ask me quickly any questions now, quickly. Any other topics? If no questions, I will close. Fine, right? Fine. Okay. Hope all the queries I have cleared. So I'm just closing this session. Tomorrow also there is a one more demo. Tomorrow I'm going to connect to some other I have connected with one of the Excel. Tomorrow I will connect with one of the multiple CSVs or something like that. I will try to connect tomorrow. How to give some modeling and all. Tomorrow also same session and same time, but different data sets. If you know queries, we can drop. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks. Bye everyone. Have a nice day. Bye. See you.